Hey guys, it's story time. So it goes way back to 2014 when I had just resumed secondary school. On the 28th October 2014, I cannot forget. It was a very weird day for me because I was like, I'm not going to cry going to boarding school. And I was like, I'm a big girl, I got this. My sister was already there. My sister was in SS2, like she's like a senior student while I was just a junior student. So we did not really see each other that much. So I got into the hostel and I saw people going out. They were like counting for us, rushing us out of the hostel. So I just followed them. I was like, I'm wondering where we're going to. And then someone told me we're going to the dining room for dinner. So I followed them, looking around like, this new girl stuff. Looking around, observing everybody. I was like, so this is how it is here. And they took light. Nepa took the light and everywhere was dark and people were screaming. Other boys were stealing pots from tables and it was so so rowdy. And I was just sitting there because I don't know what to do. And it was time for people to leave the hall and the whole place was tight. Like everyone was closer at the door and everyone was pushing their way through. And it was not funny. Like, okay, the senior students would come and just like use their hands to separate us, like, part way for them to pass, and then their school daughters flocking behind them, and then the rest of us just continued clustering. So finally I was out. I didn't know that there were gutters beside the entrance of the hall, and being new, I had not even really noticed anything. So I fell in. I scraped the sides of my knee on the wall of the gutter. It was so painful, but I just got up and I rushed to the hostel and I sat down, and that's when the pain came back. And I was like, okay, I can deal with this. And I didn't have friends. Like, basically, I don't make friends that easily when I get to a place. It takes like a while. So I just went to class the next day. I wore a pantyhose. Like, I just said, okay, I'll be wearing pantyhose to cover it. So I don't want people to be looking at me weirdly or giving me looks like, how did she get this deep wound? Because it was deep. Like, it was something not so cute. I even have a scar from it. And I don't think it's ever going to leave me. And I was like, I can deal with that. So I was wearing pantyhose to school, to class, and covering it. And it was okay. But then whenever I come back, I get the other leg off. When it's time to get the other leg of the pantyhose off the place that had the wound, it became a problem. It would get stuck at that point, and I had to use extra force to pull it off. And when I do, the clotting gets off and the wound starts bleeding again with pus coming out. It was not fine at all. And then I'll be like, okay, to close again. Always okay. At that point I hadn't gotten my compound wear at first, so I was wearing the things I brought from home. So I wore something long enough to cover it. Yes, so I'd wear like trousers to cover it. I didn't want it to be like exposed, so I kept doing those things every single day, and every day the wound got like reopened, and it was painful. Like for like over 5 days I was doing that until I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. So I got talking to my sister and she helped. She said I should go to the dispensary. I went to the clinic and they put their chemicals. It was painful, but then it eventually healed, put their bandages, and yes, with time, it got healed. I had to keep going back, then putting the bandages, and they told me to stop wearing pantyhoses because I needed air. It needed air, and then it was hard at first, but then it eventually healed, and yeah, that's just how it is with life. Now, many things have hurt us. Sometimes people wound us by what they say, by our experiences, those traumatic events that happen, and sometimes our own decisions causes wounds for us, and we don't even know what to do. But then here it is. Your body has a role to play, which is like saying God has a role to play. And if God is not involved in your healing process, well, then you can never really heal completely. Because if your body doesn't want to heal, like if your body doesn't clot the wound, then no matter the external chemicals you use, it will not heal. So we need to trust God with our wounds. It's very important that we say, God, please help me to heal. And Then the next part is you open it up to someone who can actually help. Now, it may not be medical help. It could be just counseling. It could just be talking to someone who is more experienced, someone who was also a victim and have like healed or is still healing, or like opening up to someone who actually has insight of what you're going through or is connected to help. Or if in case you do need medical help, seek medical help. Okay, there is no wound that is beyond healing, and you just got to know that. You may have scars, but then that wound is really capable of healing, and you need to believe in that first of all. So I knew that my body was healing it. Okay, but when my body was healing it, I'd use a pantyhose to pull it off. So sometimes even when God is working in us, we go back to those hurtful messages. We go back to reread them. We go back to social media, we see those people and we begin to compare ourselves with people. Then we see different things happening and then we compare ourselves. And also we're like, okay, I need to just talk to this person again. Like you go back to those people who hurt you before, looking for healing at their feet, looking for acceptance, looking for validation from people who have actually hurt you. So you were like removing the pantyhose and opening the wounds each time, and then you keep revisiting those things. Every time you want to sleep, you keep thinking about them. You're reopening them, and you're not giving your body time to heal. It's just like you're not giving God space to actually work on it. And now I had to get someone. I had to talk to someone, and the person said, "Go to the sick bay." And I had to obey. So you know how to get help. Like just get help, and then you need to look for the help. And even when they're putting those chemicals and stuff, it's gonna stink. Like it's really going to hurt you. But you need to not give room to like give up because it's painful. Okay, you need to give room to heal. And you put those bandages, each time you have to keep going, and they keep stitching, they keep doing it, even if they want to stitch or whatever, how deep the wound is. And in the period that it's meant to heal, it will heal. Some wounds take longer to heal, but you're going to heal nonetheless. So I hope this helps you to know that, okay, all those wounds that comes, you got to stop reopening them, and you need to seek help. You need to pray to God. You need to trust God because He owns you, and He is able to heal you, even if it's slow, but it's steady. And this part of healing is not linear, it's not standard. Sometimes it's going to be very hurtful, sometimes it's going to make sense. But know that no matter what, you're progressing. I look back and I know that I'm not where I used to be. Alright, so let's not reopen our wounds, and let's focus on going to places and meeting people who can actually help us, and not going back for healing at the feet of those who hurt us. Okay, bye.